For centuries, historians have blamed Rome's fall on barbarian invasions, moral decay, or political corruption. But what if the real killer was something far more invisible, far more familiar? What if Rome didn't collapse because of swords but because of debt? Not the kind you see in war chests or crumbling aqueducts, but a hidden financial rot that spread through every legion, every province, every denarius, until the entire system imploded from within. This isn't just ancient history. It's a warning echoing across 1,600 years straight into our wallets today. At its height, the Roman Empire ruled over 70 million people, stretched from Britain to Mesopotamia, and ran on a monetary system so advanced it wouldn't be matched for another 1,000 years. Emperors like Augustus and Trajan presided over an era of unprecedented stability, the Pax Romana fueled by conquest, trade, and a trusted silver coin, the denarius. But beneath the marble facade, Rome had a secret addiction: credit. Unlike modern nations with central banks, Rome had no formal banking authority. Instead, it relied on private lenders, senatorial elites, and provincial tax farmers, all deeply entangled in a web of loans, interest, and imperial guarantees. The state itself constantly borrowed to fund wars, grain doles, and public spectacles. And when revenue fell short, they didn't raise taxes, they debased the currency. That's where the real story begins. After the Punic Wars in the 2nd century BCE, Rome became fabulously wealthy, but also dangerously leveraged. Victories brought slaves, land, and loot, but also massive veteran pensions and standing armies that demanded constant pay. To keep the machine running, emperors began quietly reducing the silver content in the denarius. Under Nero in 64 CE, the silver purity dropped from 95% to 90%. By the time of Marcus Aurelius, a century later, it was down to 75%. Each debasement was sold as a temporary measure, a way to stretch finite silver reserves. But here's the twist. This wasn't inflation, it was hidden taxation. By diluting the coinage, the state effectively stole purchasing power from every citizen holding cash. And because prices were slow to adjust, the government could buy more with less. For a while, then came the perfect storm. Between 235 and 284 CE, known as the crisis of the 3rd century of Rome, saw 26 emperors in 50 years. Most died violently. Barbarians breached the Rhine and Danube. Plagues wiped out laborers. And crucially, the silver in the denarius plummeted to less than 2%. By 270 CE under Emperor Aurelian, the denarius was essentially bronze with a silver wash. Prices exploded. Soldiers refused payment in worthless coins. Provinces stopped accepting imperial currency altogether. In Egypt, people reverted to barter. In Gaul, local warlords minted their own money. The empire wasn't just politically fractured, it was financially disconnected. Center could no longer command resources because its money had lost all trust. Emperor Diocletian tried to fix it. In 301 CE, he issued the infamous edict on maximum prices, freezing wages and goods at fixed levels. It backfired spectacularly. Merchants hid inventory. Black markets thrived. The economy went underground. Later, Constantine introduced the solidus, a new gold coin meant to restore confidence. It worked for the elite. But the average Roman still lived in a world of hyperinflated copper tokens and debt obligations they couldn't repay. Meanwhile, the state kept borrowing now from the church and wealthy landowners who demanded land, privileges, and autonomy in return. The empire didn't just lose money, it lost sovereignty. Tax collection collapsed. Armies went unpaid. By 476 CE, when the last Western emperor was deposed, Rome wasn't conquered, it was bankrupt. Sound familiar? Today, global debt stands at $313 trillion, over 330% of global GDP. The U.S. national debt exceeds $35 trillion. Central banks have printed trillions since 2008. Not with silver debasement, but with digital keystrokes. Like Rome, we've normalized temporary emergency measures, quantitative easing, zero-interest lending, perpetual deficit spending. Like Rome, we're seeing the consequences. Soaring asset prices, wage stagnation, and a growing distrust in official money. Even more eerily, modern governments are exploring central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, digital tokens that could allow instant monetary policy adjustments, or instant confiscation, just as Rome used debasement to silently tax its citizens. Digital currencies could enable even more opaque forms of financial control. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. So what can we learn from Rome's hidden debt crisis? First, currency is trust. Once that trust evaporates through inflation, manipulation, or broken promises, the entire social contract unravels. Second, short-term financial fixes without structural reform only delay collapse. Rome debased its coins for 200 years before the system finally broke. Third, empires don't fall from outside forces alone. They rot from within. When leaders prioritize survival over solvency, spectacle over substance. The warning isn't that we'll wake up tomorrow to Visigoths at the gates. It's that we might wake up to a world where money no longer means anything, and no one remembers how we got there. If this story unsettled it made you question what your money is really worth, then you're not alone. The past is full of secrets buried in balance sheets and coin hoards, and the deeper we dig, the clearer the pattern becomes. So, hit subscribe, tap the bell, and join us next time as we uncover another hidden thread in the tapestry of financial power. Because understanding history isn't just about the past, it's about protecting your future. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and never stop asking, who really controls the money?